What is in your future? This is a smorgasbord, a collective consciousness, if you will, as Carl Jung likes to say. And so your message will be found in this reading. And if it doesn't speak to you, pass it down. Perhaps that dish is more pleasing to someone else. This is the collective. This is a time of great creativity. Spirit would like you to know that many of you are quite gifted. You have underestimated yourself as an artist. You have underestimated yourself as a creative person. And furthermore, you have underestimated the importance of your work as an artist. Because the truth of the matter is, what makes life worth living is art. Art is when you know you've arrived. It's that great movie. It's that great concert, right? It's that person that spent their life learning how to do something amazing to lift you up, to lift up other people, to make them feel better. You know, we were talking about Catherine O'Hara and Schitt's Creek and how they had this understanding that every time she went to film, she was always going to keep her energy high, 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 so that other people couldn't be depressed, right? This idea that the artist path is a noble path and that people's lives can be saved. I heard that there was somebody that became enlightened watching Lady Gaga on the Super Bowl halftime performance, right? He was depressed, he was LGBTQ, he was feeling maybe not accepted, rejected his whole life. And then he saw Lady Gaga perform on Super Bowl halftime, Born This Way, and the spell broke from his depression, and he had a spiritual awakening, and he realized that God had made him perfect as he was, and he came up off that couch that day, and he was enlightened. So you must never underestimate the power of your art. And you don't have a right to let the art go because it is your contribution to the world. You must honor your art. So the Empress comes to us to remind us that we are co-creators and that we have come into this world to bring beauty and goodness and love and art and creativity. Now, you pulled 2 major arcana cards for your week. This is a powerful week for you, and you must resist impatience, procrastination. Temperance comes to you also. It is a watch your diet, watch your drinking, watch your eating, watch your smoking, and learn patience. Learn patience. But it is not for you to trivialize, minimize, discard, or debase yourself, or to underestimate the importance of your art, your ability to create. I used to feel that being a doctor wasn't being an artist, and now I've come to understand that healing is an art form. Yeah, you know, like when I create an herbal formula for somebody, that's an art form. Has to be perfect, right? It has to be the perfect remedy. So there's an art to that. Finding your art, finding your beauty, and being committed to give it to the world, and the danger of not taking ourselves seriously. Yeah. So where you're at right now is the King of Pentacles. So this is a time of organization. This is a time for you to get organized. If you are going to take yourself seriously, you have to view it as an operation, you know, as a business. So you're running an operation here. You're running a business. But it's just me. I'm just an old person with a pen and paper, right? You know who used to talk like that? Stephen King. You know, that is a start, right? That's how it starts. But the King of Pentacles, he gets you organized with your finances, your business, making sure that your home is in order. If your company or if your organization is just you, that's still a business. There's your practice. So you have the Eight of Pentacles crossing you, and that's mastery. There is a spiritual gift that comes from simply putting the effort in to mastering something. I am learning to play the violin. I have a long way to go before I get to concert level, right? They say it can take about 18 years, right? People start at about age 5 or 6. Then they go through the conservatory, and then after about 18 years, they're ready to perform in the concert. They've done their 30,000 hours, right? So I've done about 2,500 hours. So I'm on my way, right? But I've got another 15,500 hours to go, right? Before I achieve concert level mastery, right? So Eight of Pentacles comes to you at this time to teach you that Rome wasn't built in a day. Learn patience. Stop worrying about the final outcome. Begin the walk, begin the mastery, begin the journey. Anything you work to master will lead to spiritual enlightenment. Spiritual enlightenment by learning to play the violin, learning everything you can about the violin, learning to be a luthier, learning how to make a violin, right? People that literally crawl inside violins, they become enlightened because they become obsessed with the violin. Then there are people and you listen to their music like Itzhak Perlman and you feel transcended, right? So anything that you choose to master, the art of paying attention and getting into the spiritual depth of something that you are creating, that is the point at which we say you are enlightened. When you lose track of time and space, you don't know where you are. You're just completely focused on your work. That is what they want for you. What is above you at this time? I see you being able to make money from more than one place. Many of you will have multiple income sources. What you're sitting in, a lot of stress. Be careful about what you watch at this time. Be careful that you're not watching things that are stressing you out or creating more worry. Instead, give an account and a reckoning for what's going on in your life. Get yourself a $1 or $2 paper and start thinking about your goals, what your goals are for your life, what your goals are for yourself physically, spiritually, financially, career-wise. Have you started the process? So the King of Pentacles comes to help you get organized. He gives you an account. It's a banker's card, by the way. It's associated with like Capricorn and Taurus. You can see that nice bull energy coming in, the bull and the ram. The bull and what is Taurus? Taurus is the bull, right? So be aware of that kind of organization and grounding that's needed, and to spend a little bit more time focusing on yourself. You have moments where you get really optimistic, I'm going to do it. And then the first time that you have trouble or failure, you get discouraged. But every comedian has bombed on stage. Right? Every comedian has learned how to handle a heckler. Right? So be comfortable with bombing on stage. Be comfortable with putting up YouTube videos and have somebody say, you suck. I get that about 20 times a day, right? Sometimes it's legitimate. Some criticism is legitimate. Hey, you said Samantha Guthrie instead of Savannah. I did? Oh, I'm sorry. And sometimes it's illegitimate, where people are just being mean, right? So you will find your destiny. Continue to do. Taurus is the bull. Yeah, Aries is the ram. I should know that. I'm an Aries. What is the Capricorn? What is Capricorn? Anybody know what this the Capricorn? Anyway, this is the banker, just to let you know. The goat. Okay, thanks. Yeah, so this is like Capricorn Taurus energy, and it's an Earth sign. Earth is associated with pentacles. Earth, grounded. It's the goat. Okay, yeah, that would explain. I was wondering what I was looking at. That's a goat. The devil's goat. No, goats are kind of scary. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what she was drawing there because it's supposed to be a Capricorn, but it's a banker's card. The money, he's holding the coin. It's basically if that's where you're at, it's time to get your house in order. That's what winter is for. Aries is around. Yeah, I'm in Aries. So, where you're at right now? Ooh, are you guys having panic attacks and like this? I know people are really upset, but you have to realize that all the horrible, terrible stuff that's coming out has already happened. Right? So we're heartbroken, like, oh my God, they did these terrible things. But now we all know, and knowledge is power, right? So as long as you stay focused on your work and on keeping your house in order, as long as you remember this reading, keep your work clean, keep your house clean and organized, be about your business, keep a hold of strong ethics regarding your work. If you're a reader, be an ethical reader. If you paint houses, be an ethical house painter. Keep your ethics in order and you will come out of this. The Knight of Cups is a diplomat. They seek to heal. I feel like this panic in my chest, like my adrenals are impacting my heart. I worry about you guys, like you have panic attacks or adrenal anxiety. I feel like the truth is coming out over the world and the truth will set us free. I think that this is going to be a rough year. I think that we're going to see the fall of Iran and Russia both. And I've talked extensively. I think that the date, this was a remote view I did. I remote viewed it down to 5 suggestions, and then the data supported it. So I went ahead and sent it off to U.S. and Israeli intelligence. But this is what I remote viewed. And so far, I've gotten it all right. I also remote viewed the rebuild of Gaza and gave that to the Israelis, which they were happy to take. And Elon Musk liked it, so he happily took it too. All right, awesome. So I think this year we're going to see the fall of both Iran and Putin. This was sent to them in 2023 at 3:53 a.m. after I'd been doing research. I've been remote viewing and then working with AI. So they have followed the 3 stages. Those were adopted by Biden. We're now doing the rebuild. And so the next phase will be the collapse of Putin. And because we have no choice because he's not going to stop. We have to stop him. And then we will see, following behind that, we will see the fall of Iran. There will be no deal. There will be no economic deal. They're not reliable trade partners. So the truth is coming out between now and the summer. We see war, Knight of Swords. That is the metal horse. That is the metal horse in Chinese astrology. But it's also associated with angry winds and violence, being in the opposition, the hope and fear, the justice card. And if you continue to master your art, and if you begin to take control of your health and master your home and master your art, it will result in economic, mental, and financial stability and will afford you many opportunities. And those of you who wish to purchase homes and property will be able to do so. If you really want a home and you're saving right now for a home, the best time for you to buy will be sometime after August of 2026. All right, that's what I have for you. I hope that helped.